Hey everyone, let's talk about love, marriage, and, well, the lack thereof. Have you ever wondered why the idea of marriage seems less appealing to younger generations? Why fewer and fewer young people seem to be tying the knot? By the end of this video, you're going to know the truth behind why young people aren't getting married anymore. In the United States alone, the rate of people getting married has dropped more than 20% over the last 20 years, and it looks like it's only going to get worse. And the reason for this isn't what you might think it is. It's not just about cold feet or commitment issues. In fact, there are 5 key reasons, and the last one is the most shocking. So, buckle up DFTBA, and let's dive in. The first reason for this decline in marriage is a big one. Changing attitudes towards relationships themselves. You see, in past generations, getting married was often viewed as the ultimate goal in a romantic relationship. It was the expected next step, the finish line we were all supposed to cross. But today's youth? They're increasingly seeing cohabitation as a valid, even preferable, alternative to marriage. For many, living together without the legal label provides the same benefits, such as shared living expenses and emotional support, without the perceived weight and permanence of marriage. And this isn't just a small shift, it's a seismic change in societal norms. To put it in perspective, in the 1970s, less than 10% of couples lived together before getting married. Today, that number has skyrocketed to over 50%. According to a 2020 study by the Pew Research Center, nearly 60% of adults, aged 18 to 29, believe that living together before marriage is acceptable. And why not? It's a chance to really get to know someone, to test the waters of shared responsibility and see if you're actually compatible in the day-to-day. The truth is, marriage as an institution has been evolving for centuries. Remember, it wasn't that long ago that marriages were primarily economic arrangements, often decided by families rather than driven by love. So, this shift towards cohabitation? It's just the latest chapter in a long and complex story. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, or, should I say, the student loan debt in the room. Because the second reason young people aren't rushing to the altar is a doozy: financial pressure. Many millennials and Gen Z individuals are entering adulthood absolutely drowning in student debt, facing rising living costs, and frankly, just trying to keep their heads above water. In this economic climate, it's no surprise that they're prioritizing financial stability over traditional milestones like marriage. It wasn't always this way. In the past, it was common for young people to marry soon after finishing school, often without worrying too much about finances. A stable job, maybe a starter home. Those things seem more attainable. But today, a report from the Federal Reserve shows that approximately 45 million Americans have student loan debt, with the average borrower owing around $30,000. That's a hefty bill to pay before you even think about buying a house, starting a family, or, affording a wedding. And even beyond student loans, the cost of living has skyrocketed. Rent, groceries, healthcare. It all adds up, leaving many young people feeling financially insecure and hesitant to commit to a major life event like marriage. Okay, reason number 3 for the decline in marriage rates? It has to do with the changing dynamics of gender roles. Traditionally, marriage often reinforced very specific, very rigid roles. Men as the primary breadwinners and women as the primary caretakers. But thankfully, times are changing. Today, gender equality is finally at the forefront, and both partners expect to contribute equally, both financially and domestically. And while this is obviously a positive shift, it can also lead to couples feeling less pressure to get married, as they focus on building their individual careers and identities first. Let's be real. Women have been told for centuries that their worth lies primarily in marriage and motherhood. But now there's a growing trend of women prioritizing their education and careers, delaying marriage to pursue their ambitions and achieve financial independence. And this is reflected in the data. Research indicates that the median age for first marriages has been steadily increasing over the years. In 2000, it was 26 for women and 28 for men. Fast forward to 2020, and it's jumped to 30 for women and 32 for men. This isn't about rejecting marriage altogether, it's about rewriting the rules, redefining what it means to be a partner, and refusing to be bound by outdated expectations. Alright, on to reason number 4, and it's a bit of a downer. The fear of divorce. It's a sad reality that many young adults have grown up witnessing firsthand the pain and complexity of divorce. And it's left its mark. Statistics paint a stark picture. Nearly 50% of marriages in the US end in divorce. For many young people, that statistic looms large, casting a shadow of doubt over the very idea of lifelong commitment. Think about it. You grow up seeing your parents, your friends' parents, maybe even your own siblings go through painful, drawn-out divorces. It's hard not to internalize that. It makes marriage seem less like a dream and more like a potential nightmare, a legal and emotional minefield, just waiting to explode. And a 2021 survey confirmed this fear, finding that more than 60% of singles are afraid that their marriage might end in divorce. That's a significant number, and it's leading many to question the value of even entering into a marriage in the first place. For many young people, it's often preferable to stay in a committed relationship without the legal ties of marriage, thereby minimizing the emotional and financial risks involved should things go south. It's a way to protect themselves, to maintain a sense of autonomy in a world where forever seems increasingly uncertain. And finally, the fifth and perhaps most shocking reason why fewer young people are getting married: a fundamental shift in relationship goals. Here's the thing. Young people today are often prioritizing individual fulfillment over traditional relationship milestones. Marriage isn't seen as the be-all and end-all, the ultimate marker of success. Instead, many are focusing on personal growth, travel, career advancement, and exploring their own identities before even considering settling down. And you know what? That's okay. It's actually kind of amazing. We live in a world with endless possibilities, a world where we're encouraged to chase our dreams and embrace our individuality. It's no wonder that this mindset is bleeding into how we view relationships. Social media plays a role here too, for better or worse. We're constantly bombarded with images and stories of people living their best lives, traveling the world, achieving their goals. And it's easy to feel like marriage might somehow hold us back from those experiences. A survey conducted by the American Psychological Association revealed that nearly 70% of millennials believe that it is more important to achieve personal goals before entering a lifelong commitment. This prioritization not only alters the timeline for marriage, but also impacts how relationships are perceived. Many young adults now think of marriage not as a necessary step, but as a potential limitation on their independence and freedom. It's about finding a balance, a partnership that complements and enhances their individual journeys, not one that defines them. So, to recap, let's quickly go through the reasons we discussed. Changing attitudes towards relationships. The normalization of cohabitation as a valid alternative to marriage. Financial pressures. The significant burden of student debt and the high cost of living deterring marriage. Changing gender roles. A focus on equality in relationships and the rising age of first marriages as individuals prioritize career and education. Fear of divorce. A growing apprehension about the potential for divorce, dissuading young people from marrying. And finally, a shift in relationship goals. Young adults are placing personal fulfillment above the traditional goal of marriage. The truth is, there's no single answer to the question of why fewer people are getting married. It's a complex issue with deep societal roots and a whole lot of nuance. But what's important is that we keep talking about it, keep questioning the status quo, and keep defining love and commitment on our own terms. If you liked this video, you'll love this video about how to break free from a sexless marriage. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on love, relationships, and personal growth. See you next time.